Hey, eighth graders, this is Mrs. Johnson. I am going to look at the homework assignment that you just opened. It's called Slope and Triangles, and I'm going to go through problem number 5. So I'm going to scroll down to problem number 5 and follow along with what I put on here, and this will help you when you go to do this on your own paper. So this is problem 5, and it says, in the figure above, determine the rise of the line traced. So the rise, I'm going from this dot to this dot. It seems a little bit misleading when it says rise because the rise actually goes down. So sometimes the rise is going down spaces, but then right here it says blank spaces up. That doesn't make sense. But remember, if you're not going up, then you're going down. That means it's a negative up. So this is actually going, and I'm going to use my marker here. This is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces down. So I would call that a -6. All right, so when it says blank spaces up, I'm going to say -6 spaces up. And if the graph goes down, make the number negative. In the figure above, determine the run of the line trace. So we end right here, and then we go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces to the right. So I'm going to put an 8 here mentally, but that means that I would put my 8 down here. It says if the graph goes left, make the number negative. But it doesn't go left, so I've got 6/8. Okay, so now it says use the rise over run, determine the slope of the line above. So my rise over run that I've got here is m equals, and I would write -6/8. And you'll notice, remember, you have to put the fraction bar in between them. But on this one, -6/8, that can be reduced. So I'm going to go to my calculator, or I could do this in my head. But how do I reduce -6/8? Well, over here, show the answers up on this side. That's -3/4, because remember, I can toggle back and forth between fraction, decimal, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so my answer is actually -3/4. And don't put any spaces on there. Reduce your fractions always. All right, let's look at one more. All right, the next one that I'm going to go over is problem number 12. On this picture, it says, mentally draw a right triangle on the above image that will help you find the rise of a run. Don't actually draw on your Chromebook. You're welcome to draw this on a separate sheet of scratch paper. In the front of my classroom, I've got a ton of graph paper. You could even graph this if you wanted to, or you can just sketch it out at home if you would like. Now, I'm going to draw in some dots. And again, just mentally, you can do this with your finger. I would put my finger here first. And then I know that this is going down 1 space to the right 4. So mentally, I was looking at these 2 dots. Oh boy, that's not a great dot. And it went down 1 to the right 4. I also could have done that from here to here. Down 1 to the right 4, down 1 to the right 4. If you had gone down 2 to the right 8, that would still reduce -2/8 into down 1 to the right 4. So I'm going to say left 1, or down 1, -1, and then +4 for the run. Now, had you done it a little differently? I always get students who say, ooh, I didn't draw it that way, I drew it above. So I'll remind you what that looks like. Here's something you're not allowed to do. You cannot say to the right 4, down 1. Because by saying to the right 4, down 1, you flipped our rise over run. That's not okay. You did run over rise. So in order to do this, it needs to be done this way. You need to say up 4, or excuse me, up 1. So 1, and then you go to the left 4 with a -4. Now that is up 1, -4. That would be correct, but you'll notice it says simplify all fractions and leave negatives in the numerator. So we never leave a negative in the denominator. It always gets moved to the numerator, just so that you don't get these wrong and say, Ms. Johnson, you typed in all the wrong keys. Well, if you take your time and read this, you can see that I told you exactly how to type this stuff in. Let me know if you have any questions.